We arrive at St. Pancras Station and get the suitcases off the train. The guys pitch in and get the bags down onto the platform, and everybody grabs their bag with wheels on it. From the Eurostar, we roll through the station. This beautiful St. Pancras, recently been renovated, top to bottom. Wonderful station now. And catch taxis into the heart of London and right to lunch at Wagamama. This is one of our rituals in the arrival in London. Have a fantastic Asian noodle lunch. Enjoying a city tour on a bus. It's a 3-hour experience and it shows you the overall highlights such as Piccadilly Circus. You really get a good view from those open top buses. Highly recommended, especially on a nice day like this. You definitely want to sit upstairs in the open. The bus tour will enable you to sit down for 2 hours and relax while the sights glide by. The tour takes you by the Houses of Parliament and Big Ben, through the West End, across Tower Bridge, and into the downtown financial center, passing St. Paul's Cathedral, the masterpiece of Sir Christopher Wren, crossing over Tower Bridge. So let's get off our tour bus and have a look inside the Tower of London. It's one of the greatest castles in the world. It's an amazing structure. This huge castle on the Thames is the oldest building in London, dating back to 1078 when William the Conqueror began construction, featuring suits of armor and historic weapons with informative signs and video displays. And then we took a little boat cruise from the Tower of London into the Westminster Pier. The boat tour is a nice perk of taking the bus tour because it's all part of that same ticket. You have a hop-on, hop-off bus and then this beautiful boat ride. It's about a half-an-hour boat ride, passing downtown and some of the other highlights of the city. And there's the Eye of London. It's the world's largest Ferris wheel. It's very popular because it gives you a great view looking out across the city. Views of the Houses of Parliament. There's Big Ben up there, the Westminster Clock Tower, and Parliament as we glide along on the River Thames. And then you arrive at the Westminster Pier, and that's a pretty central location. For us, it's really quite easy because our hotel is just about a 12-minute walk away from that dock. Our hotel is located immediately behind Trafalgar Square, so we really have a nice central location. We're staying at the Citadine Trafalgar, which has recently been completely renovated. All new furniture, new design, new style. They have kitchens in the rooms still, which can be very handy for the traveler. A beautiful new lobby and a newly designed breakfast area. So it's really comfortable, and it's only 1 block away from Trafalgar Square, so you couldn't get more central. It's very useful to stay at a hotel that's in the center of town, for then you can step outside your door and you're already in the middle of things. Makes it real easy to take our walking tours, which we always do with our group activities as we travel through Europe. This morning we are taking our classic walking tour right through the heart of town. We'll be going, despite a little bit of a rain shower this morning, it's clearing up, and we're going up Piccadilly, Regent Street, Oxford Street, Bond Street. Piccadilly Circus is the epicenter of the city, kind of the center of the English universe. Half a dozen streets radiate from there, including Regent Street. Piccadilly Circus in the heart of London is just a few blocks away from Hedon Street, a nice little pedestrian zone that will lead you into one of the great restaurants of the city. It's called Tibbetts, which takes us right up to Oxford Street. As we continue our explorations of the city, there was some kind of fashion shoot here as we round the bend going on down Oxford Street. Oxford Street is about a mile long, famous as the retail shopping center of the city. And then for a little bit more upscale experience, swing on down Bond Street, starting with Upper Bond Street and continuing to the more exclusive Lower Bond Street. And there's this fun statue of FDR and Churchill, makes a great little photo op. And we are soon making our way to the Burlington Arcade. This is one of those indoor covered shopping malls. There's about 40 small shops here selling a variety of antiques, jewelry, watches, clothing, scarves and sweaters. There's a cafe from Ladurée in Paris. And for the ultimate food experience, just beyond the Burlington Arcade, head to Fortnum & Mason. Perhaps have some English tea while you're there. Have some scones with clotted cream. Oh yeah. Fortnum & Mason has got an amazing variety of foods for sale. You want to be sure to get some of their teas and biscuits. Get them in the packages that say Fortnum & Mason on it to make great gifts back home. And that leads us right to St. James's Square, a lovely little one-block park in the heart of town. On to the changing of the guards. That's our goal for the late morning. Get to St. James's Palace at about 11:15 and put yourself in prime position to catch this wonderful show. It happens every day in the summer and every other day for the rest of the year. Or get there a little early, say at about 5 past 11, 10 past 11, and you'll have this fine spot right along the curb. And get that nice palace in the background. Nobody in front of you, so you can get some great and memorable photographs of the changing the guards. The small squad of soldiers and a marching band will walk past you quickly, so have your camera ready for the shot. And then you want to catch the next phase by walking across St. James Park as you cross the mall. And here you'll enjoy a very pleasant stroll, going over the footbridge that crosses the lake, and find another clear spot by the curb for a good view. In a few minutes, the troops will come marching by in all their glory with the big band sounding off wonderfully and then disappearing behind the palace gates. That's it for the main event, but you can also catch the impressive mounted guards coming through if you walk to the right along the curved path behind the flower beds to the mall, where you get a perfect view of Buckingham Palace. The soldiers will ride by on their big black horses coming up the mall. So from changing the guards, walk through beautiful St. James Park, walk the full length. It's less than a mile to Trafalgar Square. There's all sorts of birds. It's a bird refuge in St. James's Park. The mounted soldiers in their golden armor. You've got to try at least one pub lunch while you're in London, and you'll probably like it and want to come back for another and another. It's an economical place to eat, usually in a pub, with great atmosphere and decent food.